Okay. All right, we're back. Let's. All right. Welcome everyone. Let me mute my phone here. Welcome everyone to Friday Night Axanar Confidential. Hope everyone's doing well. Sorry for the delay, but I had to take out. I just finished like 3 minutes before start time. I finished getting all set up for this episode with our good guest Vance Major Owen. Welcome to the show, Vance. And
thank you.
And what happened, Vance, I'm going to ask you to mute your mic when you're not talking because of all the horns going off in your background. Can you do that?
I don't think I know how to. Hold on a second.
Well, everyone, I was out walking Sugar Mama, the mother of the 13 puppies. I wanted to make sure I walked her before the show. That way I didn't see in the background her coming up the stairs to poop and pee on our carpeting up here in the middle of the show. So she's all set. She got some treats, so we're doing well there. Oh, whoa! What happened there? Vance just grew way too big for the frame. There we go. Okay, we got you back there. So, Vance, can you see everything okay? Oh man, what is going on? Oh, there we go. We got you back. I am going to also let's see. Let me open up the studio, just see how our images. Hello, Michael Weir. Hope you are doing well. Thank you for the $20 super chat. You, I don't know, you crazy Oklahoman bastard. Michael Weir is one of our stalwart contributors and fans of the show. Hope everyone's doing well. That's nice. We got the regular crew here going. Val, Herb, Trey McElwain, Axanar Comics, who you all should know about by now. If you have not subscribed to Axanar Comics, shame on you. Please do. Please go and subscribe. I mean, listen, this is the same thing with us. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you hit the notification button. Make sure you sign up for the Axanar newsletter because there's great stuff going out all the time. Hello, John Tesler. Hello, Old Code. Silver Bullet 1620. That's Stephen Shuey. Hope you're doing well. I know you had some health challenges. Hope you're getting better. Adega Outlaw, a good friend of the show. Hope you are doing well. That's Tom King. Let's see. The Weekly Online. With the Weekly Online says, walking the dog, ? LOL. Good to know how important this feed is. Listen, dude. When I have a mama dog and 13 2-week-old, 3-week-old puppies, you're damn right that you're coming second place to that dog and her 13 puppies. And I don't think there's many people on this program who would disagree with me on that, right? That's that we got our priorities straight. This is just entertainment, right? We take our dog rescue very, very seriously. So anyway, listen, I've been waiting to have Vance on the show for a while. Now seems like a great time to do it. Vance, you are, I'm calling you the Godfather of Star Trek fan films because basically you have now taken the place of just about everyone as the most prolific Star Trek fan film auteur that is out there. And what's unique about you? I'm just going to tell everyone, if you have not seen him, I'm going to put I put the link that he gave me into the chat channel here. What's unique about Vance? There are many things that are unique about Vance. The thing that I love about Vance is that he doesn't really give a damn if you like it or not. He's basically doing these because he loves it, because he loves doing Star Trek fan films, and sometimes the sets may not be perfect, or the costume may not be perfect, or the person may not be perfect, and he doesn't care. He's like, look, I'm here to have fun and make Star Trek. And I think that's a laudable attitude to have. Tell me if I've missed the mark there.
No, that's that's kind of it. Because I mean, the thing about it is, like, there's so many people out there that want to do this, and they get shot down. And I think I'm kind of the guy that, that's kind of relatable to it. When I first got into fan films, I had kind of asked and reached out to a couple of people, and their attitude was just kind of, you're beneath me. And I don't ever want anyone to approach me and get that kind of vibe, that I gave them that kind of vibe. I want to be the type of guy that, if you've got a cell phone, record something, send it to me, I'll put you in my film. Or, if you don't have a Star Trek uniform, screw it, I'll put you in a distress call, or I'll put you in the background monitor, or something. Like, I'll find a way, if I'll find a way to put you in my film. Like, I don't care what the situation is, because it's like, I've been that person. And I think I have shown that, if you just have a little bit of passion, you can make a film about anything. And the thing about my films is, they're not necessarily Star Trek films. They just happen to be films that take place in the Star Trek universe. And I think that's why my films are kind of relatable. They're just good stories. And I think that's what Star Trek is all about. That's when Star Trek works best. And I think that's where fan films kind of fall apart, at least modern fan films, is they try too much to be, we're the next best thing. and that's not it, because they've kind of missed the mark. Just be a good story. Let the audience decide. Don't try to tell the audience what their opinion of you should be. So, yeah, you're right. I don't give a damn.
Yeah, well, and good for you. That's very Zephyr Cochrane of you. You sound like Zephyr Cochrane. Don't worry about what people say. Just do your thing and let the people decide.
Is this before or after the drinking with Troy?
Well, I listen. I love what you do in many ways, because I couldn't do what you do. That I say that in that I think you're a better man than me. My OCD compels me to do things a certain way, and your attitude is very natural, and it's very. It's all about, for you, it's all about doing what makes you happy and what makes the people around you happy. I mean, listen, I don't focus on making the people around me happy. My idea is that if you come onto our project and you bring your A game, it's going to fulfill all the things that you want, right? You come to our project knowing, right? You come to our project and you want to be a DP, we're going to give you an opportunity to do great DP work. You want to be a grip, we will give you great opportunities to exercise your talents. But I don't worry about is so-and-so having fun. That's not my job. Their job is to make sure they get their job done to the best of their ability. My job is to create this overall atmosphere where everyone can do that, right? I'm there just to make sure that everyone has what they need to get their job done. And I think for all of us, fulfilling that is important. You're like, you want to do something? I'll make you happy. Yeah, come on, let's do it. And it's a very refreshing attitude. And that's why I love you, Vance. And I love how prolific you are. And and one leads to the other, right? Like if you were me, you get one fan film made every 5 years. But you get 20 done a day.
Well, see, I think in my case is like if you've ever been, in June you'll see how I do it. Like I think in my case, like I don't really know what I'm doing, so I go in there and I'm like, screw it, let's do it, yay, like for me, I'm just working to get to lunch so that I can go buy some Little Caesars pizza, and then I'm like, yay, we get to eat. I'm working toward that pizza, man.
You're very short term. Your goals are very short term.
Exactly.
There's nothing wrong with that.
To me, there's like, for instance, there's an older lady who her name's Wanda, and she usually sticks around till about maybe noonish, maybe 1. And then every time we've shot, like she then leaves. And the third time we've shot together, I knew ahead of time. I'm like, I know you're gonna leave because the past 2 times we've shot, you've always left around noon. I'm willing to bet you're gonna leave again. So, I kind of figured my shooting schedule around her leaving, and then here comes noontime. She starts. Well, Vance, is there anything else you need? I was like, nope, have at it. And I had already shot everything ahead of time. But the thing is, I know what these shoots mean to her. And every time she's always thankful, and I always message her when we're about to shoot again. I'm like, hey, she's one of the first people, because I know, she's not this Academy Award winning actress, and I don't expect her to be, but I know she'll always show up, and she'll always show up till noon, but then she leaves. Um, and the thing is, like, these shoots, they always mean the world to her because she gets to be in Star Trek. And I know, watching her and having talked to her, she has no idea what's going on or what she's saying, but she gets to be in Star Trek. And to me, I think that's very, like, I relate to her because I'm the producer, the director, the cinematographer, the writer, and I don't even know what the heck I'm doing. So, I can relate to that. Just because it's like, I think a lot of people take themselves way too seriously. And it's like, look, we're not ever going to be the Star Trek Discovery or the J.J. Abrams or any of those people. Like, so let's just have fun and work toward that pizza, So, yeah, it's a lot of fun being on one of my shoots. We may, every shoot, we may have made a bad film, but we've never had a bad time. So,
well, that's great. That more power to you. That's awesome. Wait. Can I see the hat? Did you wear your Hercules hat today? Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
Just for you, man.
Okay, here's. I rarely talk about the haters. I try never to talk about the haters. But one of the stupidest things I heard, I saw someone posted their little conversation after. On Wednesday, I did a 7-hour live stream, right? It was just like I was fulfilling stuff. We shipped like 100 orders. So I just turned on the YouTube and said, come on, let's sit and chat. And anyway, I was wearing this hat. And of course, the haters had to talk their shit about it. And one of them, Michael Cunningham, one of the earliest and stupidest of the haters, had said of the hat, he said, oh, look at Alec trying to steal valor. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Stolen valor? This is science fiction, dumbass. This is not me. This isn't me wearing a hat for the USS Enterprise aircraft carrier, CVN 65, which you could do if you like that aircraft carrier. There'd be nothing wrong with doing that. This is, right? I mean, lots of people wear hats of ships that they just follow, they love, or a loved one is in there, so, right? Yeah, we modeled it on the Navy hat, but it's not because we're trying to steal valor from the Navy. Cunningham's an asshole. I'm sorry. Let me just go off on my little rant. He's an asshole, and that's just shows you how low these haters go. Stealing valor? It's science fiction, dude. I'm not stealing valor. I'm pumping up the science fiction show that I produce. So anyway,
it's
had to go off on that rant because I'm like, oh my God, the idiocy.
My dad served 20 years in the Navy, and he passed away 19 years ago. And but one of the boxes I got this past Christmas when I went to visit family was a bunch of hats that looked very similar to the ones that these ones.
Awesome.
And
that's awesome.
Yeah, like a bunch of hats like that. But it's one of those things where, like, something similar to these hats would be something you would have seen in, like, say Enterprise.
Right.
So it's one of those it's one of those things where it's like, look, if they took a tenth of that hate that they had for you and just put that towards something positive, like actually making their own films or just being a useful person in society, and it's one of those things where it's like, take your and my relationship, for instance. Like, I was part of the haters back in the day, and I, was a troll to try to get to know, I'll find out the goods on Alec. I'll find out because he doesn't know who I am. And then come to find out, oh, he's not that bad of a guy. I don't think he's a douchebag, So it's one of those things where it's like, grow up, guys, and now I really don't want anything to do with the guys, like,
well, it's because if you know me, I mean, it's like, if you want to be an asshole to me, if you think I'm a dick, at least meet me. And if I'm a dick to you or I'm an asshole, that's fine. But if you've never met me, you have really no right to say, "Oh, well, Alex an asshole," and blah blah blah, whatever. I think most of the people who meet me actually like me. As a matter of fact, one of the haters came to a convention appearance we did like a year and a half ago, and taped the whole thing. And he was a local. He's here in Atlanta, and afterwards, he felt so bad that he did that. He's like apologized like 5 times.
Yeah.
Wants to come to the show. He feels so bad. And I'm like, that's right. What did you do? What did you gain? What does hate gain you? It doesn't gain you anything. It separates you. It separates people. Right? We want always say we're all about the love, man. That's what we're about.
Well, that was one of those things where it's like I didn't want to trust you because I'd heard all these things and so I went into our conversation, the first, I think, 3 conversations, like I didn't want to trust you. But you've never been nothing more than a good friend to me, and now I whenever the opportunity arises, like I do stick up for you, and I'm proud to say now, I'm gonna go get to shoot with the guy. Like I want to go. No, hell, man, I'm working toward that pizza on your set. So
because we have the best pizza in Georgia, man. I'm telling you, our pizza is awesome. Just Val Eccleston, Angel Val said, Alec, the new USS Enterprise is CVN 80 and will be commissioned in a couple of years. I just saw an interesting special today talking Navy, talking aircraft carriers on the HMS Queen Elizabeth, the British aircraft carrier, which has 2 towers. And it was all the video was all about why it had 2 towers, and all real practical reasons, like it's better to separate the engines, it's better, blah 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 blah. Anyway, it was really redundancy, yada yada. Anyway, that was really interesting. Sci-Fi Nation says there are 4 lights. Yeah, well, okay, I never said otherwise. We're a lot of talk about pizza here. By the way, in my world, if we can't have Cosmos here in town, which is New York style pizza, I'm all about the thin crust Domino's, chicken and green pepper. That's just throwing that out there, folks. But right now I'm on the no carb thing, so I have no pizza in my life for the next month.
It's killer.
Well, that's all right. I'll manage. I always, like, after a shoot, go way off the rails. Silver Bullet, Stephen Chewy says, someone tried to poison me against Alec, then I watched a live stream and I think he's awesome. Oh, man. Thank you, dude. That's because we have awesome fans. We just have the great fans. Tell us about your son. The picture of your son is up right now. You and your son at the engineering station. Tell us about your son.
Well,
the new model for the Gerber baby.
I wish, man. Like, he's my motivation for everything. I mean, when I'm having the bad day, it's like he gets me through it. When I'm having a crappy day at work, like he gets me through that. He's been through, like, every time we go to shoot, like that was one of the things that to continue doing these films is like, I want my wife and my son with me. He's been on, he knows what the bridge of the Enterprise is like. He knows the stations. He goes and he'll press a button. Like, he loves, like, ever since he was like 6 months, years. He's just about 3.
Oh, wow.
But he'll sing this. He'll sing the Star Trek: The Next Generation theme with me. He'll go dun 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 dun. He does that with
awesome.
me. And now he does that da 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 da. So he's really adorable, man. Like, and when the Enterprise goes into warp, the Galaxy class ship, stretches itself, does that stretching effect. Every time he's always like, that just amazes him. And he's got his own Playmates Galaxy class and Vorcha class cruiser. And so we'll instead of playing tag through the house, like I'll press the torpedo button of the Enterprise D, and he'll have his Klingon ship, and he'll run, and I'll chase him, and then he'll chase me, and he's got my old little micro machines that he plays, and his favorite is the Borg cube, and he's got his own Borg, he calls it robot because he doesn't know what Borg means, and he's got a Galoob Captain Picard figure. That he goes and plays with, and he puts the Captain Picard in his PJ Masks Catboy car. But he has a bunch of Star Trek toys, and he'll, like, today he had his little TOS phaser, and he was like, Dad, chase me. chase me, Dad. I was like, all right. So I was chasing it, as much as my fat ass could chase him, until I got long winded. But he's a lot of fun. And he does these little films with me. One of the film called The Scribbler, cosplayer Mike Schmidt and his daughter Whitney were doing, like, they cosplay, and that's how I get aliens in my films, because I never have a budget for stuff like that. So if you ever see an alien in my film, usually it's a cosplayer that has volunteered, and usually it'll be on the view screen, because that's usually them filming at home. They always volunteer to do that stuff for me, thankfully. That's my way to work around no budget. But they were
The name of your
filming
productions company.
exactly.
No Budget Productions.
But they were filming their stuff at home, and he was like, it'd be fun for him and his daughter to do that. And he was like, and afterwards, we'll go to Starbucks and get some coffee and makeup. I was like, oh, that's awesome. But one of the things that he had done was he said the name Eobard, which is my son's character's name. And we had shot a scene the week before, so my son knew his character's name. And when this alien had said his name, my son looked at me and he was like, oh, Eodar? Because he couldn't pronounce Eobard. But, it was just ironic that at the same time this father and daughter were doing their cosplay, scenes, me and my son were in the... Hold on. Forgive me, guys. I'm at work, and they were just exiting out the door. But it was just kind of ironic that the same time this father and daughter were doing their scenes for me and my son were watching this father and daughter doing their scenes, and my son got really excited that he knew that his character was being named by this alien. So it was really a sweet moment. And then to see the picture of this Cardassian and shoot, what's the blue Andorian getting a Starbucks coffee? That was kind of a fun moment. But Royce is the best thing in my life, man. I've always wanted to be a dad ever since I was 18.
Wow. Wow. And
yeah,
how old are you now?
So 39, just about 40.
Oh, all right.
So, and that's why I married, and that's why I started dating Mona, because I met her and I was like, she'd be a great mom. So
wow.
that's why. Yeah.
Wow.
That's why I started. Yeah.
That's awesome.
So
okay, so
yeah.
Tell us how you started. How did you start doing fan films?
Well, I was Richard Wells and Scott Johnson had invited me to come down there to Starbase Studios in Oklahoma City, because I was doing networking on Facebook at the time. And so I went down there because they were shooting Yorktown, a scene, pickup shot for Yorktown. So I went down there to kind of, do some advertising for Starbase Studios. And, I actually got to sit in the captain's chair, and I thought, well, this is going to be, wow, I'm got goosebumps, because when you walk into a 360-degree bridge, for the first time, you're just kind of immersed in that world. And even though, like, as a kid growing up, I never really appreciated, the Jim Kirk, bridge. I was more of a next gen kid. But when you see that world for the first time, you're kind of like blown away by it, when, all the buttons and everything and the glowing and the sound effects. So I was kind of just like, wow. I got to work the next day and I get a message on Facebook and it's Michael L. King. And he's like, hey, I want you to be in my movie. And I'm like, what, like porn? And he was like, no, I make fan films. I'm like, oh, okay. Because I had no idea who he was. He was like, let me introduce myself. I'm Michael King. I make Starship Valiant. You have the look of an engineer. I'd like for you to be my engineer, if you would. You have a certain look to you. And I'm like, what, like fat and bald? What do you mean? And he's like, well, no, but you have a real ruggedness to you, like a real hands-on type guy. And I'm like, dude, I can't even change a tire. Like, all right, I mean, I guess I can do that. Sure. Anything to go back on that bridge, I'd love to. And he's like, do you have any acting experience? And I was like, No, I mean, I can act like I know what I'm doing, but I'd love to. I mean, I used to play as, a kid, playing Star Trek. I'd act all the parts out, but I mean, outside that, no. But I mean, I'll give it my best. He's like, well, none of us are actors. We're just having fun. And I was like, well, I can do that, and you'll always get my best. And so, just stemming off of that, I mean, he's never gotten anything less than my best. And then taking that Menard character, and he let me name the character, and I named it off of Eric Hubline, which was one of my childhood best friends, and Jeremy Minard, which was, again, one of my childhood best friends. So that's where Eric Menard, that's where we got the names from. So, yeah. And then there were, it, he always puts the quality into his films, so it kind of took a little bit longer making the films. So I asked, I said, could I start making some of my films? He said, sure. So I always cleared everything with Michael on what the stories that I would make would be about, and he's never told me no. So everything's just stemmed based on that. So that's kind of how I got into everything. So. What's that? You're on mute. I can't hear you. What's
You've
that?
done how many films so far?
If you take original films, it would be 69. If you include special editions, it's like 105, I think.
Oh my god! Now, what's a special
Yeah,
edition? Tell us about that.
special editions were I wanted the music to sync up with the I wanted the music to kind of be this similar to like what I was doing when I did the brand new Constar films. So I wanted everything to be kind of uniform for everybody who hadn't seen um, any of the Valiant stuff or any of the original Constar films. I wanted everything to just be kind of uniform. So because when I did all the original films, everything kind of had to kind of coincide with the guidelines. I wanted every film to be completely independently done. So every film had a completely different intro music than any other film. Whereas if you watch like all the Constar films, like it's got that kind of Battlestar Galactica-esque kind of harmony song to it. So all the special editions are the same way. Plus, there's a log entry and in all of the Valiant special editions and all the Mirror Universe special editions that I did because I wanted there to be something that would link all the Valiant and Mirror Universe to the Constar ones. So it's only like maybe a 30-second intro log entry, but it was something that would link everything kind of up, and nothing that was, nothing that would put my editor through, the ringer, but something that we could have someone record and then just put onto the beginning and then add a little bit of the changed music and then, just tack on something that we did, I think, in like maybe 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks, but we could still do with the release of December, because I really wanted to hit that deadline with all the films. So it wasn't, nothing that was super strenuous for my editor, because again, we're all working for free, and I don't want to ever lose anybody.
Yeah, I know. I know. Some are so, sometimes people are so demanding. They're like, when's this going to come out? Hey, I'm sorry. Are you paying me to do this? Then how about you just sit back and wait till I get it done?
And
It's crazy.
well, and that's exactly it. Like I have several people who do CGI for me, and like I'm always very thankful for what they do, because I can't do any of that. Like if it was up to me, I'd be building my starships out of Legos like I did when I was a kid, and you would see the ship be flying like this, pew pew, So, um, for me, for them guys to be doing what they did, especially in the film The 11th Hour, the fact that I had a battle, the battle to retake DS9, and all those ships and explosions and lasers and or phasers and torpedoes, and just so much going on. I never in a million years would have thought I would have had something like that, especially considering all of that has to do with the CGI guys, the editor, the great sets that Dan and Wolf have. None of that is really, me. All of that is so many people that are beyond me, and stuff that I couldn't ever begin to do. So, and again, all of that is done with little to no budget. It's amazing what can be done just for people who do it out of the kindness of their heart.
Yeah, and that's what it's all about. I mean, I hate spending money ultimately on these. I wish everyone would just work for free. But if we're going to do things our way, it's going to cost money. We understand that,
Yep.
and the fans understand that. But that doesn't diminish at all what you're doing, which I think is really amazing. So tell us about the saga of Eric Menard. Tell us where he started and where he's going. And
Well,
what's happened
we're
along the
actually
way,
gonna,
because it's a really interesting story.
well he we're actually gonna go back further than we have before. With where we have it right now, we see him kind of Cage era esque, and he actually worked with Captain Pike. And then a couple years later, he gets this thing called the Valhalla Stone, and that's what prevents him from aging. And it's kind of my get out of jail free card for whenever the story needs me to do something. But it allows him to see into other universes. It allows him to kind of um, catch glimpses of stuff. But ultimately, it prevents him from aging. So it allowed me to tell why doesn't this dude age when he's in the Next Generation era? And it was kind of just a one shot, because when I first did the Constar film, the film Resistance, that was just my that was kind of my guilty pleasure film. I wasn't going to do more. It was just that one film that I was going to do, but people responded so well to it. I was like, all right, I'll do more. So I kind of had to have reasons for why doesn't this dude age. But so that was my reasoning for doing that. He served on the Valiant as a chief engineer. Got promoted to Utopia Planitia to be with his son, which then his son gets trapped in the Valhalla Stone for like 80 years. This dude leaves Starfleet to try to go figure out what all happens. We still haven't explored that part of his life. So that that 80-year gap is kind of a mystery, which we will kind of be exploring somewhat with a few upcoming films. At some future point, he returns back to Starfleet, which is where he's at when we kind of pick up the film Resistance. And he's at Starport Orchard, which is where the Borg come at Wolf 359. They do that stuff, rescue the survivors, and then Starfleet gives them command of the Constar as kind of, hey, the Constar was a symbol of hope there. Let's kind of keep this ship going, because right now we kind of need all the hope we can get. So they kind of give him this old ship. They go through their adventures and whatnot, and then about maybe a week or so before the battle to retake DS9, this dude dies of basically the equivalent of a heart attack, because the quadlithium kind of wears down on his heart. Because it's basically kind of like a drug. When you overdose or you keep taking the same stuff, it kind of just wears you out. That was my way in the real world to kind of step behind the camera and give the cast, hey, we're going to do this big major epic battle. I can't be in this if I'm directing it. So let me step back and let you guys shine. I don't need credit. Like, I've done enough of these films. It's not about me. And none of these films have been about me. I'm just in them. It's about you guys. And that's why I came back, was to set up all these characters like DS9 did. Like, it's about, Cisco's in a lot of the shows, but if you watch a lot of them, like, they're about so many secondary characters. And these Constar films, it's set up that way as well. So one of the characters becomes the captain, and she takes over the ship. So for like the last, I think, 5 or 6 films of the Constar, she's the captain. But these upcoming films, it's actually going to have you in it, and it's going to take place in the early years of the Constar, of him being the captain of the Constar, and we're actually going to see a kind of a young Menard being inspired by you. So we're going to kind of see the relationship between, we're going to kind of see Menard's influence, an older Menard's influence on Garth a little bit, and then we're going to see Garth's influence on Menard. And hopefully kind of a yin and yang kind of way, that's hopefully fun for the audience and fun for everybody. So that's kind of the life of Menard. So yeah. So without giving too much away. So yeah. Yep, on mute. Can't hear you. What's that?
Let's check out some of the comments. What I'm just trying to see if does anyone have any comments for Vance here? Any questions? Yeah, and by the way, Trey McElwain, Axanar Comics, he always has his live stream right before mine, so make sure you check it out on Fridays at 8:00.
Trey's awesome, dude.
He is amazing,
I love that.
Isn't he? He is so amazing.
Oh yeah. He actually, like, I was kind of burned out of writing and stuff, and after a couple of his watch parties, like, man, it really kind of lit a fire underneath, it's got me going again, man. Like, that guy is cool cat.
He's great. No, he's great. What was that? Hold on.
Sure.
Maybe that was you. Oh, or maybe that was my dog underneath. What is up, Mama? Come here. Are you all right, Mama? I'm sorry, my dog's underneath my chair. Here, come here. Come here. Come here. Okay, you want to come up? Come on. Yeah, you know how to get up. I think my dog's scared of something. Are you scared of the doggy downstairs? Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, I think Mama's really scared. Here's Mama. This is Mama dog. What? This is my Mama. We've obviously got our dog down, our Mama dog downstairs, and so yeah, Mama. And this is our Mama, and she's really been spooked by the big 60, 70 pound dog downstairs.
Right, I can imagine.
Yeah, so she needs some love. That's what it is. What can we expect next from Menard? Where are we going with the story?
Well, it's a lot of the stuff I'm going to be doing. Like I said, the one story I'll be working with you on, and that's kind of my only thing coming back to it. There's really not much left that I wanted to do for Menard, and honestly, if it wasn't for that, I don't think I'd be telling much of a story left for Menard. The film I plan to shoot in October at Wolf and Dan's is a continuation of where we left off at the end of what we did with Yava Lewis as Captain Mickle, kind of a continuation with her. Because my whole point of doing all these films was kind of passing the torch to all these other people who wanted to do their fan films.
That's awesome.
I didn't. One of the guys, his name's Greg Mitchell. He'll be doing his own fan films, and he edited, I think, probably like 7 of my films.
Oh wow!
And he stars in like 5 of them. But ultimately, after I shoot in October, that'll be it for me. I'll be giving the reins over to Greg Teft, who plays Commander Russo.
Sure, I met Greg at Triclanta.
Yeah, dude is awesome. Like, I've known him for years, but there's like we always discuss characters, and the guy's like family. But I've been doing this for 6 years now, 7 years. And it's as much as I love the people, it's like I stepped away to be a father and kind of focus on family. I came back, and I do kind of feel like it's kind of a final bow. So I think after October, that'll give me enough time to work with Victoria and Josh on what they want me to work with them on, and finish that project. And finish up what loose ends I need to. But after that, I think I'll be done. So, after that, it's kind of done for me. So,
All right. Sorry, the dog needed to get down.
oh, you're fine, man.
Yeah, we're pretty casual here. By the way, this is I don't know. This is great cinnamon whiskey. It's called Fire on the Mountain. It's
Right on, man.
Georgia. It's Georgia based. It is all natural as opposed to Fireball, which has like antifreeze in it. So we have a drinking game where if I yawn at all during the show, which I do all the time, I have to take a sip of this.
I
So
saw that. I saw that on your dog episode, man. I saw that. Even when the dog yawns, you had to take the drink. I saw
yeah,
that.
Paul Osborne wants me to drink all the. He, like at 8 a.m. He's like, I'm doing my show at in the morning. He's like, oh, that was you, and I'm like, no, that's only for Axanar Confidential. I'm not drinking at 10 a.m, guys. But anyway, well, good. All right, favorite Star Trek series.
DS9, hands down.
Yeah, good man, good man. I know that show is amazing. It really is. Oh, by the way, thank you to that English gent, $5 super chat. Greatly appreciated, sir. He says, Vance, I'm thinking of getting into storytelling, but want to avoid rookie mistakes as much as possible. What would be your top pointers for beginners?
Avoid the drama. Ultimately, focus on the story that you want to tell. The thing about it is, like, listening to other people is fine, but most people are dead wrong in what they say. When I first started, there was a guy who said, I wanted to film something that was like a 10 to 20 second clip that I wanted to show my friends, and a guy got into a 15-minute conversation on how that was impossible, and he showed me $1,000 camera that he was shooting with, and tried to convince me that no, this is how you do it, this is how you do it, this is how you and so I smiled and nodded and everything, and waited for him to leave, and then I was like, all right, screw that. So then I went ahead and did what I did. And if I had listened to what he had to say, I wouldn't be where I'm at now. So the thing is, listen to what you want to do and take everything in, but in the end of the day, just do what you feel is right. Surround yourself with good people. Everyone's got a story. Most of them never get made. So, I mean, at the end of the day, I think I've shown that, any guy with a cell phone can make it work. So, and no offense, I'm not trying to be belittling, but I don't have a lot of talent, but I get stuff made. So if you have a story, you can get it made. So just decide what you want to make and go make it. So everything else will come.
Yeah.
And try to include as many people as you can, because I have a huge network of people, and it's all because we work together for a common goal.
Yeah. So, which is what fan films are all about. I mean, fan films have always, whether it's Star Trek New Voyages or Star Trek Continues or Axanar, the failure happens when people's egos get in the way of the collective good, right? And it's a shame, and I don't think, I just don't think we need all that nonsense. Really, it's just
no. That's exactly it's one of those things where it's like I'd rather take someone who has a kind heart, and maybe he's not the best actor, or maybe he's not the most fit. Like, dude, screw that. Let's go do something fun and have a laugh. And and it's like I'll take 20 of those people rather than one. I'm a professional. No, screw that, man. Like, nah. And you'll have years of memories and laughs, and those are the friendships that grow.
Sure.
And they're loyal because they're not looking out for themselves. They're looking out for what's best for the project. And dude, like, they'll travel the distance. They'll do it. They'll go, and it's just their motivation's completely different. It's keep the ego out of it.
Yeah. Sci-Fi Nation says drinks for donations, Alex. Sure. Yeah. Tell me what you want me to drink and how much money you're giving me. I'll do it. Yeah, absolutely. I guess they're commenting because I guess we have a certain number of thumbs that we have 3 thumbs down on this live stream, and everyone's like, well, of course that's the haters coming by. But what they don't realize is even giving us a thumbs down helps us. Because
it still gets. Yeah.
Go ahead.
it still gets the reaction from YouTube and whatnot and everything. So if they just left you alone, that would be the thing to really get you, idiots.
I know exactly. So
Bless their hearts. Bless their
bless
hearts.
their hearts, bless their hearts. I know, it's great. So, where do you want to be as far as a Star Trek fan in 5 years? What have you done? Are you out of fan films? Where do you see yourself, or is that even something you can think about?
Yeah, I kind of feel like I've told all the stories I need to tell, man. I mean, and that's one of the reasons why, like, I agreed that I knew I wanted to pass the torch to a different captain, which I did. And why, like, I discussed with Greg and was like, hey, after I shoot in October, like, you take over as producer, like, we all talk to the same people, we're all friends, like, you just what stories do you want to tell, Greg? You do it. Like, I want to watch as a fan. Because the thing about it is, like, Greg Teff did one film of the Constar films, and Greg Mitchell did two of them. Like, if you go watch Shakedown, and then shoot, I forgot what Greg Mitchell, like, there were three films total of the Constar films that I released, that I was a producer on, but I was really very hands off, and I watched those films as a fan. They had my characters in them, but they weren't my films, and I gave complete creative control. Like, dude, do the film you want to make it. I'll help. Whatever you need, let me know. And like for Greg Teft, we went to Wolf and Dan's, and I took, I pushed one of my films off. I was like, screw it, I'll green screen that film. I'll make that film. I'll make the other film work. Let's tell whatever you want to do. Like, I pushed one of my films off just to make his film work. Because again, it's not about me. But it's one of those things where it's like, I want to watch fan films as a fan. And I've created with the Constar stuff so many characters where it's like, I can stand back and let these people make their own stuff with a little bit of help, and let them play with their own universe, of characters, and they can tell their own stories with established characters, and they don't have to feel like, oh God, I'm so overwhelmed. No, you're not. You need a CGI shot. What do you need? You need an editor. I've got three of them. Like, what do you need? And let's get it done. You need a uniform? I'll send it to you. What do you need? Like, just send it back. But I mean, what do you need? And that's one of the things where it's like, to me, it's not about, let me hoard all this stuff. When I do a fundraiser, it's not about, let me sit on this collection of uniforms. It's about, what do you need? And I'll help you. So 5 years from now, like, I want Royce to start making Star Trek uniform or fan film. I want him to be like, hey, can I go do this, Dad? And be like, yep. Like, also go visit the sets when they do it, because I want Royce to continue to know what, the inside of a starship looks like. Like, we've got a collection of pictures on his wall of every time we visited. I think we were up to like 5 now. Like, we went to Ray Tessie's and had a picture of him in front of the warp core. We have a picture in Wolf's seat on the bridge. We got a picture at the dog patch sets of me and him at the engineering station. We got a picture in Dan's shuttlecraft. Like, when I made my captain's ready room in my den, Royce and I made that together.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, like, I got cardboard from my work because they throw that stuff out. I asked my boss, I said, hey, man, can I take this home? He's like, what do you need to take this home for? I'm like, I'm making a starship. He's like, all right, man, whatever. So, like, I was able to take it home. I painted it, because his room is painted the same color as the inside of the TOS stuff. So I was like, awesome. And Royce, of course, had his own paint roller because he was too young at the time to paint, so I let him, paint. Of course, there was no paint on it, but he didn't know that. So, like, the next morning, we had all the pieces painted up, and, the next morning, he woke up and I had already had everything assembled. I opened up my den door and he's like, oh, so he was completely blown away because, I transformed my den to the ready room. So we have a selfie of that, the table and everything, but it's one of those things where it's like, I want to continue to show him that, hey, your dad did this with no budget. You can go do anything you want. So go do it, so that's where I want to be. I don't want to be a fan filmmaker. I want to be a great dad to him. And I want to show him that, you can go be better than me.
Good for you.
So that's what I want to be. I want to be the best dad I can be. So
Good for you. Well, geez, can't argue with that. That's just about, that's the most worthy goal there is. If we can be great parents to kids. So I don't have kids, but I've got two godsons who are really important. Who are really important to me, and I've got two nephews and two nieces. So I got plenty of kids. They're just not
well,
mine.
and that's the thing. It's like the next generation, man. It's like we really got to take care of them. That's what it's all about. There's so much darkness in this world. Not to get on a high horse, but it's like there's so much darkness out there, man. When I see that kid smile, damn, so that's what
Uh,
it's all about.
I agree. Paul Osborne says, wasn't there supposed to be a thing at the studio one weekend this month? There was, Paul, but we changed it when we got the sets. So that weekend kind of took the place of what we were doing this month. So in answer to your question, good question. That English gen, Axanar, thank you, Vance. I'm thinking mostly novels at the moment, and if something catches on with people that could see about making it into another type of media like a video. Hey, there's Albert. Alvision 100, thumbs up. You guys rock, or you guys are awesome, but you rock, my friend. Albert's the one who did Chasing the Infinite Sky, which is brilliant.
That dude is awesome.
He is, isn't he? He's amazing.
I would love to work with that dude. That guy, oh my god, that guy, whew, mind blown.
Even six-time Academy Award winner Adam Howard was blown away by what Albert did.
Yeah.
So very cool. Michael Weir says, "Don't forget the four-legged kids." Yes, they're all part of my family. So, well, listen, we are going to cut it off now. We're almost at the top of the hour. By the way, where'd the name Constar come from?
When I was a little kid, it was the ship that I made up, one of the ships that I made up out of Legos. So when I started making fan films, I just kept it. If you look at a lot of my fan films, a lot of it's Easter eggs from other stuff when I was a kid. In fact, most of the stories are inspired from my life. So it's just one more thing that I took and was like, yep, I'm just going to take that. So I'm not that original. I just steal from my own life. So, it's just one more thing.
But
Lego starships.
I was waiting. I yawned. I was waiting to see if anyone caught it. Of course, that's that's the only reason Paul Osborne is watching it right now, to catch me. So here you go. Oh, that's so good. So, well, listen. I'm gonna drink again to you, Vance, because you are the man. We love you, and you are an inspiration to everyone, fan filmmaker or not. So this one's for Vance.
Oh, thank you, my friend.
Woo! Hi, that's good stuff. A question from HX2823. Vance, is Resistance a TNG era story?
Yeah, all the Constar films are TNG era. Yeah,
good.
Yeah. It's the Constar is if you go back to the episode Relics, Picard mentions a museum ship that he talks to Scotty about, and I mentioned that in the film Resistance when I'm like, not bad for your museum piece. That's a direct. I was trying to anyone that was paying super close attention, which I might have missed it, but it's a direct relate. I was trying to make that direct connection to that Picard reference to Scotty. So the Constar is that museum ship the Picard is referencing. So.
Gotcha. Okay. And Michael Weir gave us $5 for me to take another drink. So this one's for Michael Weir. Sad. I'm sad that I'm going to need another bottle soon. Let's see. Everyone says, Herb Bluntman, raise a glass for Vance. Cheers. Paul Osborne says, thanks for coming out, Vance.
Well, tip of my hat to you guys, and I raised my glass to you guys. So it's coffee, but all
there
the
you
same.
go. There you go. It all works. Before Dave G. Sound said, William Dafoe in an interview said, if you are thinking of going to film school, just buy a camera and start filming. Listen, that is the advice of everyone in Hollywood. It's like, you want to be an actor, buy a camera and start making films. You want to be a director? Buy a camera, start making films. You want to, it's like, and you don't even have to buy a camera, right? Like you, there's this. Everyone's got an HD camera in their hands. Just start making films, right? I mean, listen, making films is not my career goal. So making Axanar is a passion project for me. We'll have other things going after. But yeah, I think that's great advice for everyone. Sci-Fi Nation says, Alec, great stream as always. Bud, live long and prosper. Everyone, to you as well, Sci-Fi Nation. Like the Enterprise NCC 1701M from Of Gods and Men. Oh, that was a museum ship in Of Gods and Men, the fan film of God, which was pretty good. It was yeah, there were flaws, but it was a pretty good fan film, good effort. Shot glasses, yes, we're going to have Axanar shot glasses. I'm working on that and metal coffee mugs right now. So I literally have like 10 tabs open, and I will work on that tonight. So, all right, everyone, listen, thank you as always for coming out for Axanar Confidential. Please, if you do not already, please go and become a patron on our Patreon campaign. $2 a month, that's all it takes to be a part of it. We have $2,600 a month. This year is a big year for the studio, guys. We are going to move and build our own facility, hopefully 10,000 square feet. That'll happen because of people like you, every one of you out there. We will keep you posted how it goes. But in the meantime, thank you so much. Vance, thank you. Thank you, your work, and we appreciate you taking time from work. Thank your boss, or don't, for for having the time to do it. We will have you back on, man. We will, because you are an awesome. I can't wait to start doing stuff with you. And I know Vance sent me a thing he wants me to do, a little thing he wants me to do. Oh, by the way, which episode was Garth's voiceover in?
That was in the best the one you did the one you did a long time ago.
Yeah, it was like a year ago. Was it a year ago?
Yeah, the best thing.
The best thing.
Yeah.
So anyway, everyone go watch The Best Thing, because as Menard's taking the Constar out of space dock, Garth has a voice cameo, and so much appreciate to Vance for that. I think I got an IMDb credit for that as well.
Which is the highlight of your career, That's it.
People ask me about it on the street. Hey, are you the guy that did the voiceover? Someone earlier this evening, someone said they were wearing this hat, and they got out in an Uber or a cab or something, and the guy said, an Axanar fan, huh? How awesome is that we are that pervasive in this culture that you can walk into a cab and someone can know that you're an Axanar fan. It is awesome. Okay, we're going to sign off. Vance, I bow to the superior filmmaker. You are amazing. God bless you. Blessings to your family and your young son. We hope to have you back. I can't wait for you to get out here, sir. And we are going to have a blast making some fan films. And we will we'll keep everyone posted. Much thanks to Stogie, who is on here tonight. Trey McElwain, my guys who work YouTube and work the videos. Thank you guys both. Thank you to all of our regular fans who are out there, and I'm not going to name you. You know who you are. We appreciate it, and we will see you. I will be doing a live stream this weekend, just another Just Cause live stream. All right, we'll turn the camera on, and we'll just start. I'll be fulfilling this weekend, so you guys we'll just hang out together like we always do. Okay, we appreciate it. So for now, as always, live long and prosper, Vance.
Thank you for having me on, Alec. Live long and prosper.
Peace and long life to all of our fans, and we will catch you around the galaxy. You guys take care.